Ben, why are you staring at that toaster like it's a piece of modern art? Is there a reason we are having a moment of silence for whole wheat bread?
I'm not staring, Ava. I'm reflecting. I'm contemplating the complexity of the American breakfast ritual. Also, I think I broke it.
You broke the toaster? Ben, it has 2 buttons. A toddler could master this machine.
Well, this toddler apparently pressed the bagel button for a regular slice of bread, and now the bread is, how do you say, it is very angry. It is smoking.
It's not angry, Ben. It's just burnt. Forget the textbooks. Learn real English with us. Welcome to the Loft. Welcome to Ava and Ben's English Loft, everyone. I'm Ava, and the man currently losing a battle against kitchen appliances is Ben. Today, we're diving into a topic that Ben clearly needs help with. Talk about your day. We're moving away from the office and into the real world of daily routines and mishaps.
In my defense, the buttons were not labeled in a way that my morning brain could process. But you are right. My day has been eventful. And it is only 10 in the morning.
This is perfect for our listeners. Then, I want you to give me the full, detailed rundown of your morning. Don't leave anything out. We need to hear the good, the bad, and the smoky.
Fine. Here's the chronological report of my morning activities. I woke up at 6 o'clock precisely. I went into the bathroom. I washed my face. Then, I put on my clothes. After this, I went into the kitchen. I wanted to eat a toast. I put the bread in the toaster. Then the smoke came. Now we are here on the sofa.
Okay, Ben. That was technically accurate. But oh my God. If you talk to a friend in New York like that, they're going to think you're a robot disguised as a German engineer. It's so bumpy.
Bumpy. I was being precise. Every action was accounted for.
Precision is for spreadsheets, Ben. When we talk about our day in English, we use connectors and flow. If you just say, I did this, then I did that, you sound like you're reading a manual. We need to bridge the gap between your actions.
Okay, so how do we build this bridge? Do I need more adjectives?
Not necessarily. You need transitions. Instead of saying then, we use phrases like first thing in the morning, next thing I knew, or right after that. And we add a little bit of flavor, how you felt. You didn't just wake up. How did you feel at 6 a.m.?
I felt like a man who had made a grave mistake by setting his alarm so early.
See? Tell me that. I woke up at 6 and honestly, I was totally wiped. That tells me a story. Now, let's talk about your washing routine. You said, I washed my face.
Yes, this is a fact.
In English, we usually group all those small actions, brushing teeth, washing face, doing hair, under the phrase getting ready. You can say, I spent 20 minutes getting ready. It's an umbrella term. It's much more natural than listing every hygiene step.
I spent 20 minutes getting ready. It sounds much more sophisticated, like I was preparing for a gala instead of just trying to find my socks.
Exactly. Now, let's look at the kitchen disaster. You said, the smoke came. That sounds like a horror movie.
It felt like a horror movie. The kitchen was disappearing in a gray cloud.
In English, we'd say, the toaster started smoking, or I ended up burning the toast. That little phrase, ended up, is a secret weapon. It describes a result that you didn't plan for. I tried to make breakfast, but I ended up burning the whole thing.
I ended up burning the toast. That is exactly what happened. It was an unintentional result of my technological failure.
Now, let's talk about timing. You keep saying, at 6 o'clock. It's very precise, very German. But in casual conversation, we often use around or about. I got up around 6. It sounds more relaxed, like you aren't holding a stopwatch.
Around 6. I'm starting to see the pattern. It is about the vibe of the sentence, not just the data.
Precisely. Now, Ben, I want you to take that boring list from earlier and give it the Loft treatment. Use those connectors. Give me some flow.
Okay, let me try. Well, first thing in the morning, I woke up around 6. I was still pretty tired, but I got out of bed anyway. I spent about 15 minutes getting ready, and then I headed to the kitchen. I wanted to grab a quick bite, so I put some bread in the toaster. But next thing I knew, the kitchen was full of smoke. I ended up burning my breakfast.
Ben, that was perfect. Headed to the kitchen. Grab a quick bite. Next thing I knew, you're sounding like a local already.
I actually felt like I was telling a story. It didn't feel like I was reading a script in my head.
That's the goal. Now, let's move into the next phase of your day. After the toast incident, you didn't just sit here and cry, right?
No, I realized I needed real food. So I decided to leave the loft. I wanted to walk to that little bakery on the corner.
The one with the amazing almond croissants?
Yes. So I grabbed my phone and I remembered. Ava, no more calling it a handy. And I walked out the door. But as soon as I stepped onto the sidewalk, I realized I had a problem.
A problem? What kind of problem?
I was wearing my slippers.
Ben, you walked out onto a New York City sidewalk in your slippers? Those fuzzy blue ones with the stars on them?
They are very comfortable, Ava. But yes, I was halfway down the block before I felt the cold concrete. I had to turn around and run back. I felt like a total idiot.
That is hilarious. And that brings us to a great phrase. I realized. You said, I realized I had a problem. That's a perfect way to show a turning point in your day. And when you were running back, you could say, I dashed back, or I bolted back. It adds more energy to the story.
I bolted back to the loft. It sounds very dramatic, like an action movie, but with stars on my feet.
So, after you finally put on real shoes, what happened next?
Well, I eventually made it to the bakery. I was standing in line, and the woman behind me had a very small, very loud dog. The dog started barking at my shoes. I think he knew they were not the slippers.
He was judging your fashion choices.
Exactly. So I turned to the woman and I said, your dog is very energetic today. And she laughed and said, he just hasn't had his morning walk yet. We started talking about the neighborhood, and she recommended a different coffee shop nearby.
Look at you, making small talk. This is a huge part of your day. It's not just what you do, it's who you interact with. You can say, I struck up a conversation with her.
I struck up a conversation. That sounds very professional.
It just means you started talking to someone you didn't know. So, did you go to the coffee shop she recommended?
I did. It was a tiny place, very hidden gem style. I ordered a large latte and sat by the window. I spent about an hour just hanging out and watching people. It was very peaceful.
Hanging out. Perfect use of the phrase.
I am learning, Ava. But then, my day took another turn. I checked my phone and realized I had 3 missed calls from my landlord.
Oh no, that's never good news on a Saturday.
He told me there was a leak in the apartment below mine. He needed to come over and check my bathroom. So, my peaceful morning was over. I had to head back immediately.
Head back. Another great one. You're on a roll. So, what was the verdict? Is the loft flooding?
Luckily, no. It was a loose pipe under the sink. He fixed it in 10 minutes, but I ended up having to clean the entire bathroom because I was embarrassed by how messy it was.
The panic clean. Every New Yorker knows that feeling. Someone is coming over? Quick, hide the laundry in the oven.
I did not put laundry in the oven, Ava. I am an engineer. That is a fire hazard. I put it in the closet.
Smart move. So that brings us to now. You're here, the bathroom is clean, the toast is burnt, and you've survived the morning.
It has been a roller coaster. I feel like I have lived 3 different days in 4 hours.
That is life in NYC, Ben. Now, let's do a deep dive into the vocabulary we just used. This is the breakdown for our listeners. Ben, let's start with the sequence words.
We used first thing, right after that, and next thing I knew. These help the listener follow the timeline without me saying then every 5 seconds.
Exactly. And we used headed to instead of just went. I headed to the bakery sounds more purposeful. It's like you have a destination in mind.
And we used grab a bite or grab a coffee. This is very common in America. It means to get something quickly or casually.
Right. And don't forget ended up. This is such a crucial phrase for talking about your day because things rarely go exactly as planned. I ended up burning the toast. I ended up running back for my shoes. It shows that something was a result of a situation.
I also liked struck up a conversation. It sounds much more natural than saying I began to speak with a stranger.
Definitely. And then we have our social verbs, hanging out, staying in, and going out. Then give the listeners an example of how to use these for their weekend plans.
Okay, if I want to be lazy, I can say, tonight, I'm just staying in and watching a movie. If I want to be social, I can say, I'm going out with some friends to a new restaurant. And if I'm just relaxing at the park, I'm hanging out.
Perfect. Now, what about the panicked verbs? You used bolted back and dashed.
These are great when you are in a hurry.
I realized I forgot my keys, so I dashed back inside.
Exactly. It adds flavor. It makes the story more exciting. If you just say, I went back, it's a bit flat. But I bolted back makes me feel your stress.
My stress was very real, Ava. The concrete was very cold.
I believe you. Now, let's talk about one more thing. Turns out. We didn't use it in the story, but it's a cousin of ended up. You can say, turns out it was just a loose pipe. It's used when you discover a fact later on.
Turns out. I will add that to my Lego collection of phrases.
Good. Now, Ben, let's try a challenge round. I'm going to give you a random afternoon scenario, and I want you to tell me a quick story about it using at least 3 of our new phrases.
I am ready. Give me your worst.
Okay, scenario. You went to the grocery store to buy milk, but you saw a famous actor there.
Okay, let's see. Well, this afternoon I headed to the grocery store because I was out of milk. I was just hanging out in the dairy aisle, looking at the different types of milk. There are so many types in this country, Ava. Why is there milk made of oats? And next thing I knew, I saw a man in a big hat and sunglasses. Turns out, it was that actor from the movie with the space aliens. I wanted to strike up a conversation, but I was too nervous, so I just ended up buying my oat milk and leaving.
Whistles, Ben. That was flawless. You used headed to, hanging out, next thing I knew, turns out, strike up a conversation, and ended up. You're a pro.
I feel like a storyteller. I feel like I'm weaving a tapestry of my life.
Okay, let's not get too poetic. You're still the guy who burnt the toast.
This is true. The smell is still in my hair.
Well, I think that's a perfect place to wrap up today's episode. Listeners, we hope Ben's chaotic morning gave you some useful tools for your own English journey. Remember, talking about your day isn't about being perfect. It's about connecting with people and sharing your experiences.
Even the embarrassing ones. Especially the embarrassing ones.
Especially those Those are the best stories. So, your homework for this week. Try to tell someone about your day using at least 3 connector phrases. Did you end up somewhere unexpected? Did you strike up a conversation with someone? Let us know.
And please, check your toaster settings before you begin your day. It is a dangerous word out there.
Wise words, Ben. Thanks for hanging out with us in the loft today. We'll see you in the next episode.
Bye-bye.
See ya!